Today I'm walking you through the biggest flip of my PC flipping journey so far, and spoiler alert, it made me some good profit. If you're new here on my channel, what's up? This is episode 3 of my series, Flipping PCs Until I Graduate College, where I'm documenting my PC flips as I head into my third year of college. Let me take you back to how this episode was even possible in the first place. If you guys watch episode 1, you'd know that this PC has been giving us a lot of issues. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and check it out. But to put it short, this PC ended up selling on Java. I shipped it out to the buyer. They got it, turned it on, and apparently the GPU was damaged. So I had to RMA the GPU, and MSI sent it back today. So we're gonna pop it back in, see if it works this time. Now, I'm not gonna lie, going into this, I thought the RMA process was gonna be super difficult and lengthy, but it actually wasn't. It took a total of 2 weeks from when I sent it to them and when I got it back, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, off of first glance, I'm noticing that this isn't the same card I sent them. So if y'all remember, I RMA'd a 4070 Ti Supreme model, and this looks nothing like it. Instead, they sent me a 4090 Slim X, which is crazy in this time. I also went back to look at my invoice, and they even put the name of the model they shipped me as a 4090, so I'm so lost. Like, I'm not sure if they sent me this because they couldn't repair my 4070 Ti or if it was an actual mistake. Let me know in the comments if this has ever happened to you or something. I want to know if it's common or if this is like rare to happen. But anyways, I'll probably end up doing a high-end build with this, so the profit on that is going to be absolutely crazy, so I can't wait to do that. Before we get to building, here's a quick breakdown on the parts. For this build, I wanted to go all out, hence I picked up the Ryzen 7 7800X 3D locally for $300 new with 8 cores, 16 threads, and AMD's 3D VCast technology. The CPU will have no issues running anything at all, especially at the price I paid. It makes it so much better for this flip. And for the motherboard, I'm using this Gigabyte B650AX that's been sitting on my shelf. I picked this up for $147 at Micro Center. To cool the 7800X 3D, I'm using this Sama SM360 I featured a handful of these coolers in my builds. It has a nice 2.8-inch LCD display, and it's more than keeping those temperatures down on the CPU. For the RAM, I'm using 2 sets of 32GB kits from G-Skill that I picked up for $169, clocked at 6,000 mega transfers per second. With storage, I went with a 2TB M.2 SSD from Clev. I picked it up on Amazon for $93, and it's a good old efficient SSD to get things running. And then for the main character for this build, I'm using this MSI Slim 4090. Now, since I paid $550 for the 4070 Ti, I sent them for the RMA, and they sent me this instead. I am valuing the 4090 at $550, which is crazy to say because this card is usually going for $1,600 on the used market. Of course, to power this monster over card, I went with a beefy power supply. This one is Sama's XF 1000 watt 80 plus gold. I paid $75 for this on Newegg since it wasn't a pretty good sale. And it's also fully modular, so it would make cable management a bit easier in the back of the case. With all that being said, time for the most exciting part, and that is putting this build together. Start off is the CPU, and like I said, this chip is an absolute beast. It's inarguably one of the best gaming CPUs on the market right now. I think everyone in there knows that, and I genuinely think it's worth the hype. Now, it's amazing for gaming and handling some workloads, so it fits right into this build perfectly. The next up is our 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM. I mean, it's only right I did 64 gigs for this flip because why not? This is the G-Skill Ripjaw model with a cast latency of 30, making it suitable for any heavy workloads they're going to be throwing at it now, and more importantly, in the future as well. Now, going in with their SSD, like I said, I'm going with Clev. I've been getting a lot of their 1TB or 2TB models. They're really great for the price that you pay for them. Yeah, because for whatever reason, most of the SSDs I used to use are not creeping up into the 10 to 15% more than what I used to pay for them, and that's a little depressing to see if you're a PC flipper constantly trying to get to doing builds. With the motherboard prepped, let me show y'all what case we're using for today's flip. Specifically the Sama Nevio 2341. I just have to say, not sponsored by Sama, they just have some really good products. Anyways, this is the perfect case for this build. It's a fixed stand case to show those amazing components, has great airflow, which is crucial at this level, comes with 4 pre-installed infinity fans, which I think are very aesthetic, and overall a great quality for the price of $79 on Newegg at the time. Alright, enough yet, let's get the motherboard installed. So the case comes with the standoffs all in the right spots if you're doing an ATX build. However, if this flip was a micro ATX, I would have to shift things around. But doing a micro ATX build and a case this big is gonna look very wonky, so that's not something that would look enticing to most buyers. Now, like I said, the PSU is fully modular and it comes with some slick all white cables. Man, even the modes on the inputs are white for the PSU. That's pretty clean. Much as I like the cables that came with the power supply and as clean as they are, unfortunately, I think they would actually throw off the aesthetic of the build that I'm going for, given it's all black. So I got a solution for that. I'm going to be using some easy DIY cable extensions to keep them tucked away. Now, I got these for, I believe, $30 on Amazon. It's the gray and black versions. As you guys can see, we have some accents of that on the motherboard. But I think for $32, it makes everything look so much better, and it's always a great addition, especially when I'm flipping PCs. And then I threw in these AliExpress fans that I had. I think they're called Jungle Leopard or something like that. But they're infinity fans, just like the ones that came with the summer case, so that worked well together. And then they're also daisy chains, so that's a plus for cable management. I wanted to toss them in the bottom since there's nothing in that area and it was looking pretty empty. And they're nice fans, so why not just occupy that area with some nice fans, and they're gonna make our GPU temperatures possibly better. And then of course I had to finish it off with the GPU cable extensions. I love how this build really turned out. It's like this black and gray neutral-ish look. Let's get this thing hooked up and see if we get a post. I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes because for some reason I was using this other boot drive that I had and it wouldn't boot. So I was just sitting here for 30 minutes troubleshooting, as you guys can see on my main computer. I was trying to figure out why, and I just decided to install the Windows key on another device, and that actually got it working. So I was kind of getting stressed. I'm gonna get Windows installed and benchmark and maybe get it listed. It is pretty late, so I'll either list it tonight or wait till tomorrow, and I'll keep you guys up to date. Okay, so I ended up taking some pictures the next morning and listing it on Facebook Marketplace and Java. It ended up selling on Java pretty quickly for the asking price, which is always good to see. I got it packaged the next day and shipped it out to the buyer, costing me a total of $1,727.34 to build, and I ended up selling it for asking price, which was $36.99 on Java. And after giving Java their cut, I ended up taking home roughly $1,481 in profit. That's a great turnaround for this flip, given that it's my biggest profit yet when it comes to flipping. Let me know what you guys think of this flip in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and would like to, please drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss my future flipping videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.